welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Just like I said yesterday, if you watched yesterday's NASCAR review from Darlington, you heard me say that today we were going to be talking about Wrestlemania Backlash, and that is going to be the subject of today's video. Before I get into it, I wanted to say, you see my shirt, it says Mr. Right. So, to all the men out there, when you're able to walk around, if you're married, with a shirt that says Mr. Right, you know you're doing something right. But before we get into WrestleMania Backlash, I wanted to quickly say, in case you have not heard, Friday morning in North Carolina, New Jack died. And this is a picture of New Jack right here, in case you think you may not remember who he is. He was big back in the days of ECW. He was as hardcore as it gets back in the day. Real name Jerome Young, but he died Friday morning in North Carolina with the cause of a heart attack. So let's please send some positive thoughts, positive vibes, good vibes, thoughts and prayers towards the family and friends of New Jack. He was 58 years old, and his death was certainly unexpected. So let's please send some positive thoughts and good vibes towards the family and friends of New Jack today. And now, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into WrestleMania Backlash. That is the name of it now. It used to be called Backlash, but now it's called WrestleMania Backlash because it is somewhat of a continuation from WrestleMania. 6 matches have been announced so far, including 2 triple threat matches, and I do think we will see one title change hands, and you'll find out coming up here in a couple of minutes what title that is. Our triple threat matches: first, for the Raw Women's Championship, we have Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship, and they've been doing a terrible job of booking Asuka lately. That means one of two things: either they're going to shock the world and give her the title back, or she's going to take the pin, and I think it's going to be number 2. I think Rhea Ripley will pin Asuka and retain the Raw Women's Championship, only because they've been doing such a poor job of booking Asuka lately. I think they're going to try to make Charlotte look strong by avoiding taking the loss, and they'll have Rhea Ripley pin Asuka to retain the Raw Women's Championship. And then for the SmackDown Women's Championship, we have Bianca Belair against Bayley. I know WWE sometimes takes a lot of criticism for the booking, some of the things they do or some of the things they don't do, but to me, this storyline, the entire booking they've done with Bianca Belair and Bayley has been amazing, and I want to send a quick shout out to WWE and give them credit, because they always get credit, if you want to call it credit, when things look bad or go bad or don't make sense. So I want to give them a shout out when something has been booked exceptional, and the entire angle with Bianca Belair and Bayley has been amazing. Bayley is doing a great job, but I do think that Sasha Banks will play into this somehow, some way, because I think in the future they're going to have Bianca, Bayley, and Sasha Banks in a triple threat match. But I do think Bianca Belair retains her championship tomorrow night at WrestleMania Backlash. And then here's the one title that I think will change hands. We have the Dirty Dogs, which is Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, which that name to me makes no sense, because Dogs is D-A-W-G-S, and everybody knows that Dogs is spelled D-O-G-S. It must have been a Georgia Bulldog fan that put that team together and thought, let's spell Dogs D-A-W-G-S. But anyway, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs, are going up against Rey and Dominic Mysterio for the Tag Team Championships, and this is where I think the title changes hands. If you watch WWE for any period of time at all, you know no tag team stays together long, and Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler have been together for a pretty good little while now, and they're actually a great tag team. But I do think they drop the titles tomorrow night to Rey and Dominic Mysterio, and I think Rey and Dominic Mysterio become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and that'll be the breakup or the start of a breakup anyway, between Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And then we have Damian Priest going against The Miz, and I fully expect Damian Priest to win that match. The Miz will not lose any credibility by losing to Damian Priest, so I do think Damian Priest will win that match. And then, of course, our two main events are the two championship matches. Roman Reigns going up against Cesaro. I'm so glad Cesaro is finally getting a main event push. He's been there so long and done so much and was stuck in mid-card status for about 10 years. He's finally getting a main event push. I would love to see Cesaro win the title, even if it's only for a month or so, just for the shock and awe, because nobody expects it. Everybody, including me, fully expects Roman Reigns to retain the championship, but I would love to see Cesaro get one championship run, even if it's not long. I would love to see Cesaro get one title run, and if he wins the title at WrestleMania Backlash, it would be kind of a shocking moment, because nobody expects that. And then the main event will be the other triple threat match on the card. Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. And I do expect Lashley to retain the title. I think my prediction is Lashley keeps the title all the way up until SummerSlam, and that's where Drew McIntyre will get the title back. But this should be a very good match, and I expected Drew McIntyre to get the title back at WrestleMania, so I could be wrong here. Maybe he gets it back tomorrow night, or maybe they give Braun a short championship run, but I fully expect Lashley to win this match and continue the feud with Drew McIntyre all the way up until SummerSlam. And like I said, my prediction is Drew McIntyre gets that title back at SummerSlam. So if you're a wrestling fan or know someone who is, please feel free to watch the video and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let me know if you agree with me that the only title that's going to change hands at WrestleMania Backlash will be Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler dropping the tag team belts to Rey and Dominic Mysterio. 6 matches announced so far, but we know the pre-show is an hour, and this is not, one of the big 4 pay-per-views like Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and SummerSlam and Survivor Series. So an hour-long pre-show will have at least one match, but I can't really go into details of it because if it is, they haven't announced what match it will be. But WWE is bad about naming another match on the day of the show, so don't be surprised if Backlash comes on tomorrow night and there's another match added. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably going to be King Corbin against Shinsuke Nakamura, only because on SmackDown, Shinsuke Nakamura stole King Corbin's crown. So I think they'll book that match, but they haven't yet, so I really can't say. But if I had to make a prediction on an added match, that's what match it'll be. But they've got to have at least one, because these 6 matches are going to be on the main card, and the pre-show is going to have at least one match, if not 2. So it wouldn't surprise me if it is King Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura, since Shinsuke stole his crown on SmackDown, but they haven't announced it yet, so it may not happen. But like I said, if you're a wrestling fan, please feel free to give me your thoughts and comments on what you think will happen at WrestleMania Backlash tomorrow night. Coming up one day next week, we'll come back on here and we'll review WrestleMania Backlash and see if I had all 6 matches right, wrong, or if I was half right and half wrong. We'll find out tomorrow night at WrestleMania Backlash. Before we get out of here for the day, I'll give you my dad joke of the day. What happens when you hit Dwayne Johnson on the butt? You hit rock bottom. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.